So I was like riding a motherfucking high. It was the coolest thing. And then on Saturday, I am feeling really good. We'd seen the show the night before. My aunts and my cousins had rented an Airbnb on the Upper East Side, and I go to meet them. And I love people, and I'm like fucking in a Disney movie or something, like zippity-doo-dah and whistling, smiling. I bike from Brooklyn to the Upper East Side. I get like the endorphins running. I go into Dunkin' Donuts, which is like a big thing in Boston, because there was a Dunkin' Donuts in the building that they were staying at. And we're like, this is a sign. It's gonna be the best weekend ever. And there's I get my large iced turbo shot black coffee, and I'm walking out, and there's like this little yappy dog, like a beagle mix, like tied up outside of the Dunkin' Donuts, and he's like, and I was like, oh, cute puppy, and I kind of walk around him, and as I skirt around him, the fucking dog lunges at my leg and sinks its teeth into my leg. Can you see? Is the leg bright enough? Draws blood on two sides. I look down, I'm gushing blood from my calf, and I start screaming, whose dog is this? Whose dog is this? And then this woman in a wheelchair says, the owner's in Dunkin' Donuts. And I was like, all right, I'm going into Dunkin' Donuts. I walk into Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, whose dog is tied up outside? And this fucking middle-aged white finance bro piece of shit goes, my dog, why? And I go, why? Because your dog just bit me and I'm bleeding. And he goes, I'm not even kidding you. Well, why'd you go near my dog? At which point I kind of blacked out. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I know that there was a lot of like kind of primal guttural screaming going on. And then I realized I couldn't stop the bleeding, so I grab a bunch of tissues and I'm like, I will meet you outside. And as I'm walking outside, this guy's like, yo bro, I would have kicked that dog against the wall. And I was like, yeah, I didn't do that. So I guess that it's good that he bit me and not you. And I'm sitting outside, and then a crowd starts to form, and the woman in the wheelchair is like, you should call the cops. You should call the cops. And I was like, I don't want to call the cops. And then this other woman is like, are you okay? I saw the whole thing go down. So like, as we're like decompressing and waiting for Finance Bro, who doesn't get out of line, mind you, I'm now actually processing this for the first time, that he didn't get out of line to come outside after I told him this. He had not yet ordered when I went in there and was screaming at him. So he went in there, continued to stand in line, ordered his coffee, and then came outside, immediately started screaming, what did you do to my dog? This is why I love New Yorkers, right? So I didn't have to say a fucking word. The woman in the wheelchair, the woman that was sitting on the bench next to the dog, just start going at this guy. He didn't do anything! That dog should be muzzled! What kind of an owner are you? And it was amazing, and I was like, what's your name? And his name was Jim Pranetta. Let me just make sure that's his name, because I want this preserved on film for all eternity. Where's my phone? So I say, what's your name? What's your name? Do you have a license? Do you have a whatever? What's your phone number? So I get his phone number from him, and I was like, what's your name? You don't have a license. I was like, I'm gonna follow you home, and I'll wait while you get your license from your apartment. He's like, no, no, no. So anyway, long story long, yeah, his name is, all right, ready? You can all Google him. Actually, I recommend taking out your phones right now and see what's wrong with this country. James P. Pranetta, P-R-E-N-E-T-T-A. He's the general counsel for, I don't know, some fucking finance company. James Pranetta, who said, why did you go near my dog after he bit me, comes out, starts screaming at the women to tell them that it's not his dog's fault, that he bit me without provocation. Anyway, my point being that pieces of shit like this make this city hard to live in. But then the people like the woman in the wheelchair and the woman that were sitting there make it fucking amazing. So I don't really have a point to this story other than to tell you that New York is full of a lot of fucking people, and 3 of them are going to come up here and tell you stories right now. So without